get started. Sorry, gotta turn that loud on. When it wants me to say got it. Sure. Whatever makes it happy. Okay, what we've been staring at are the minutes from the last meeting. That's usually our first item on the agenda, which it is today. These are the meetings from August 10th. They've also been posted on the website if you were able to catch them there too. Do we have any questions or discussions about the minutes from the last meeting? I'll wait to see if anybody Zoom chimes in or chats. Also, before I forget, can everyone on Zoom hear the meeting? Can you all hear us talking? Okay, that's great. You never know in Zoom world. All right, perfect, thank you. All right, let's go ahead and vote. If you're on Zoom, then you're gonna get a poll. If you're here in person, we're gonna just take all those in favor. So, all right, all those in favor, or actually, I guess technically we need a motion, I think. We've just, on Zoom, we've kind of cut out things. I think normally we're supposed to take a motion from the floor. Because technically, our bylaws say Robert's Rules of Order. So, a motion, anyone? It can be somebody on Zoom. It can be anybody on Zoom that calls a motion too. Anybody?
Well, I move to approve the
Great.
rates from last meeting.
Angela Spratt calls a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Perfect. We'll take the second. All right. All those in favor of passing the minutes from last meeting? All right. Catch the Zoom. Let me know when the poll is closed. Oh,
It's gonna ask both questions.
oh, I forgot about that. Sorry, Zoom. We'll catch Zoom in just a minute. Sorry about that. Let's move. Can you close the poll? We'll relaunch it. Sorry,
Yeah.
Zoom.
I will.
We'll get smoother with this over time. Item number 2 on the agenda is our treasury report. Zoom this up for you a little bit. Couple of details on here that we have recently learned about. We are now going to break out our funding by fund type. Anybody who works, if you have to deal with a chart field spread, whether it's on a travel card, a P card, paying invoices, whatever, if you see a chart field spread, you're going to see a fund type, and those fund types mean different things for us in Staff Summit. Certain funds types have to be spent within the budget year, or we lose that money. So we're going to start keeping track of that to make sure we're mindful that we're not losing money at the end of the budget year. So that's kind of what that is. We've got agency, MISCA, and EdGen, and EdGen is your funding that has to be spent during the budget year. If we don't spend it, they don't give it back. So, that's where we got. And then just another point so that everybody is aware, because this is something I didn't know until I took over as chair. All of our Staff Senate funding comes from the chair going out and asking various programs to give us part of their budget so we can do Staff Senate programs. So a lot of our funding comes from the OU Tulsa President's Office, the OU Tulsa Graduate College, and the School of Community Medicine. Those are our primary funding sources. And every year we have to go ask them for money. We do not automatically get a budget. So any money that we have is given to us by our programs on campus. So just to kind of be aware where that money comes from. Beyond that, we have to fundraise the money ourselves. So when you're looking at our budget, that's important. The second thing I want you guys to look at is how much we spent on Staff Week. All the expenses that you're seeing right now are since July 1, and I think almost all of them relate to Staff Week. So just Staff Week cost us about $6,000. We have another Staff Week in April. So we have to be able to fund that. And I'm working on getting some more funding to try and help us But that kind, when you look at our balance, you think, oh, we've got lots of money, but when you go, oh, wait, staff week costs $6,000. And this money has to last us through June. That's not so much money. So things to think about when we're going through that. Don't spend a lot of time on the treasurer's report usually, but I thought it would be a good time to point some details out. So anyway, this is what we're looking at. We did have a good staff week, by the way. So the money is well spent. Let's not complain about what it is, but we do have to think about what we've got, what we're going to do the rest of the year. So any questions about the treasurer report before we call for a vote on that? Not seeing anything more. Okay, I'll take a motion to vote on the treasurer report. It can be anybody, Zoom or here, either way. Okay, Dr. Wallace?
Yeah.
You want a motion or do you have a question?
No, I thought I had a question, but now I don't.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Perfectly fine. Any second? May I have a second? Okay, thank you. All right. In 2C33 in person, we're gonna go ahead and do a in-person vote. Go ahead and launch the poll on Zoom. The Zoom poll is gonna ask you to both approve the minutes and the treasurer report. So here in the room, all in favor of approving the treasurer reports? Okay, thank you. Got that. And Angela, if you could show the results, so you think you are done. Got it. Mine won't show up as a vote. We'll do that. Okay, now I'm gonna pop this over to the actual agenda for today. We have done our minutes in our treasurer report. And now committee reports. These won't take, I don't think these will take too terribly long. Merit. Candy, do you have anything?
No, not at the moment.
Yay.
Yay, we won't start probably till February, hopefully.
Okay,
Get it done a little bit earlier for hopefully on
Sure.
time, a little bit for next year.
right.
If
And
it does
just,
make it move.
yep. And just a little housekeeping from last month. Anybody who did not pick up their certificate at the reception and all of the service pins, because the service pins just came in a couple of weeks ago, all of those were sent out to everybody via campus mail. Either to their supervisor or to them individually. Because we had supervisors who had multiple people, so I just had to do that. And I only got a couple back, which was great. And I haven't had any complaints or where's mine. So if you thought you were due a service award, you would have had a service anniversary by last March. So if you've had one since March, you're going to be on next spring. So don't worry, we haven't forgotten you. We'll catch all the people April going forward next April. Okay.
Angela,
Yes.
hi, I'm sorry to bother you. Is Lee still, are you still gonna have Lee present the HR information today? It's not on the agenda.
Oh, it is. Yes, she's going to be under the non-committee reports. I apologize. I thought I had that typed on there and apparently I did not.
Okay,
But we've
we
got her.
just wanted to make sure she was still going to be able to present.
Yes, she's still there.
Okay, thanks.
Trying to breeze through this. Okay. Where is it? Membership and policy review. Okay. Oh. There is our results for the poll. So passing the minutes and the treasury report. Perfect. All right. Angela, do you want to go ahead and take it away from membership and policy review?
Yes, so as far as the membership and policy review, we still have quite a few vacancies. Under group one, Susan and Building 1, we have 2 alternate vacancies. Group 3, which is 4 for West and 12, we have a vacancy for representative and a vacancy for alternate. Building group 5, I don't know, I can say building. Group 4, Susan Clinic, everything is vacant, so we need to do a lot of work to get our clinics on board.
Hey, anybody over in the clinic here at Schusterman that's on Zoom, if you want to be a representative, you can still attend via Zoom and be a representative. Just email staff senate and let us know.
And then, no, you're fine. And then up under group 5, we have one representative that is vacant. So we just need to help each other get these spots filled. And then also, I did update the membership and, give me one second, the bylaws for our steps and bylaws. When I mentioned that we need to put something in our meetings for Zoom in case we were working all remotely, we needed something that which fits our bylaws. So up under Article 5, staff senate meetings, I put in there special meetings.
They'll say, when you find it, go ahead and share it. I'll stop my share and see if you can get it to the thing. It's small. Okay. Oh, the wonders of hybrid. I actually think hybrid meetings are more complex than just doing all Zoom or all in person.
All right, so up under Article 5, staff senate meetings, to accommodate employees working remotely or unable to attend in person, the OU Tulsa staff senate may conduct meetings per the University of Oklahoma virtual platform Zoom at the discretion of the chair. That's just to let us know that we don't have to meet in person, or we can have a hybrid fashion for our meetings, just in case something happens, that we will still be able to meet in a virtual platform.
All right. Does anybody have any questions or concerns about adding this in? We tried to leave it pretty generic. I think the only thing that has occurred to me, Angela, since the last time we talked about it was, should we omit the term Zoom? Because at some point we might not
Yeah.
use Zoom. We might use some new platform. And so during, let's see, how about a University of Oklahoma approved virtual platform or something like that? And that way that leaves us flexible so that if the university changes their preferred platform, we're able to do that. Any other questions or changes? Not seeing anything. And I think what we're looking at is a PDF version, so Angela's gonna omit Zoom out of that.
Yes.
So that's why we're not seeing the change on the screen right now, but she's got it. She's got it. I trust her. She's got us covered. But if we want, we can go ahead and vote, or do you want to go ahead and change it and get it exactly? Like down on page 6, when you read the bylaws, and if you ever have trouble sleeping, bring up our bylaws. They're on the Staff Senate website. Also, the Staff Senate Constitution, I believe, is there. So, anytime you're having some issues there, that'll work. Something general enough that allows us to conduct business virtually, but not so specific that it limits us. Was kind of what we were going for.
I have a question.
Go for it, Mitch.
Who is on our bylaws and PMP committee?
So that is the membership and policy review committee with Angela Surratt.
And
So
more than one person, correct?
there is more than one person on that committee, yes.
Just making sure we're doing everything according to book.
Yes. We've got, the committee membership is on the website too.
And it hasn't been updated yet, so I want to talk to you. But yes.
Oh, okay, you have to update it, but yes. All right, so if there isn't any other discussion, I would like to call for a motion to approve. Online, in person, anybody?
I will move to approve
Okay.
that correction.
All right, Tandy motions. Do we have a second?
This is Kara. I'll second.
Okay, thank you. All righty, so vote is going to be by Zoom poll if you're on Zoom. And here, all in favor, please raise your hand. Thank you.
I don't think we created a poll for this.
I thought I had two polls. There should be two polls with today's date.
No, that's 2 questions. You want to look at
There should be, I thought there was a second poll. Excuse us. I created a second poll. Okay, go all the way down. There it is. Yep, that's the one. It wouldn't let me reorder the new poll and put it up with the date. The polls listed in the order created. Okay, so Zoom, you can vote now. Got your poll open now. And I will go back to sharing. Screen. Okay. All right, so we've got that off. We have poll results yet, or is it just Zoom? That's okay. We're gonna keep going on Zoom. If you haven't decided, go ahead, keep voting. We're gonna move on to the communications report. Angela, do you have anything on that one?
Just continue to send in anything if you want us to post it in our newsletter or via social media. And then we're going to add the Zoom meeting information to the newsletter when that's sent out before our next meeting. And that's pretty much it.
So, not a lot going on in communications. You just keep cranking out those emails every week, which is awesome. Get that news out there. Okay, do we have a poll result? Yes. Bylaws updates. Okay. So majority passes on the bylaws. Okay. Next, I've got staff week. Is Samantha on here?
Yes.
Dan, do you have any kind of update on a food truck?
Yes, I am actually gonna pass that on to Kara Horn. She reached out to me, asking to assist with that. And, since I'm gonna be taking on the fall activities, I'm gonna pass that on to her. We're gonna meet tomorrow. She said is better for her. So we're going to get that squared away and then get it scheduled hopefully for the last payday of September. And then we'll do again for the Halloween contest. We'll do a food truck since we're not doing the chili cook-off. As far as the chili cook-off, that has been canceled due to our new food restrictions. But we are still going to be doing a costume contest as well as a door decorating contest. So that will be coming soon with more information. And then in November, we'll be doing the craft fair, which will be kind of something we've done in the past in August, but we're moving it to November to be more of a Christmas holiday shopping type theme. So we will be doing a craft fair in November.
Sounds great. Do we have any kind of date nailed down for the craft fair yet? Samantha or Mitch, whoever?
November 19th is the day we're looking at.
All right, so tentatively November 19th, not set in stone yet, but that's the current plan for those who are.
Yes, and we've already put in a room request for Founders Hall for that day. So it's, as long as that goes through, then we should be good with that date.
Fabulous.
And it's a payday Friday, so it's great for people to attend a craft fair.
That's a great plan right there. That's awesome. All right, so sounds like we're good with spot. And just to give you all an update, we normally do a chili cook-off in October. It's one of our big fundraisers every year. And because of our food serving restrictions for this year, the president's office has said no. And that came directly from President Sluss. There wasn't really any discussion about it. It was just a, sorry, the restrictions won't allow us to do that this year. So we're doing the costume contest and the door decorating contest virtually, kind of like we did last year. So that's, we're still gonna do something in October. It's just not gonna be the chili cook-off this year. Okay, now let's move on to our non-committee reports. Is Chief Evans on with us today? Looked. Don't think he is, so we will skip on down to Dr. Willis Wallace, the DEI initiative.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I do have a few updates on some programming initiatives that are happening in the month of September, but also be on the lookout as our newsletter will be coming out September next week. But we do have some speakers coming in for Hispanic Heritage Month. So we do have a speaker that will fit within our target audiences of HSD and Tulsa. As far as target audience timeline, it's typically 12 to 1, where many of we see many of our HSD and Tulsa folks engaging in our programming. So be on the lookout for more information about that and other pending programs that are in the making at this point. We also have our neighborhood table that's coming up, but obviously due to the fact that we have food restrictions at HSD and Tulsa campus, we have to rethink how that is going to work. So we may just consider the idea of doing like cookie giveaways or something like that, but we have limited options on how we want to navigate through that program. Typically it's done where people come, they sit, they eat their lunch, they engage in conversation around anything because it's bringing people together, but we cannot technically bring people together and eat. So we are rethinking how we want that to look on this campus if we decide to move forward with that. And then we have, and that'll be September 29th if we move forward with any type of, handout, go, walk away, don't open it until you are not. The other thing, October, we have a slew of programming happening. We are going to be continuing our mental health series. We just had our first one last week where we had a speaker, a psychologist from California, speak about recognizing and responding to with compassion. So we talked a lot about, trauma and depression, anxiety as it relates to students coming back into the spaces of higher education and what that all looks like from a mental health perspective. Our next one in October is about pandemic trauma. So we will be talking about the impact of the pandemic that has had on students. So, and how we can best support our students as they come back off of being in a pandemic and still being in a pandemic. So be on the lookout for some great programming and conversations that are happening in the DEI space. And that is all I have for you.
Thank you. Lots going on. One new standing non-committee report that I've added to the agenda is for Live Well, so that either Lindsay or someone on her team can give us an update of what's going on with Live Well. So Lindsay, take it away.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity to connect with you all there on the Tulsa campus. So Live Well, just some reminders. This quarter, third quarter will be ending at the end of this month. So make sure if you're participating with those quarterly incentive items and the annual monetary incentive that you get those wellness activities logged in your portal by the end of this month for quarter 3. And then also keeping an eye out for our weekly emails that have a lot of information as far as upcoming workshops, webinars you can participate in. Still, the majority we're doing virtually. So it gives you that opportunity, no matter where you're located, to participate. Many times, not all the time, but many times those are recorded. So if you're not able to attend the live virtual workshop, more than likely, there's going to be a recorded version that you can watch and participate in at a later time that fits your schedule better. We also have on-campus health screenings. I believe the one on September 23rd of this month in Tulsa, I believe is fully booked, but they added another date, October 28th. So again, if you are participating in the wellness portal and working towards that annual monetary incentive, you'll want to get that done. Whether it doesn't have to be an on-campus health screening. If you want to do an on-campus health screening, that's just really simple for a lot of people since you don't have to take off work for it. But if you do a regular, checkup, annual physical wellness check with your physician, that's completely eligible as well. So you don't have to just do the on-campus health screenings for our annual monetary incentive. Other than that, I hope you can join us. We have meditation, 30-minute meditations on Mondays and Thursdays. It's called Happiness Reconnect. And I believe some of you maybe have been able to participate. Those are through Zoom as well. So it's a good time to just kind of take a little break, do some self-care with those. Many times people say they feel like they just took a nap, but not actually taking a nap. So it can be very refreshing and helps you be more productive and work with stress relief. So thank you guys very much. Let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Lindsay. All right. Now we're down to the important one, employee benefits. This is the one that's quiet most of the year, but this is the season whenever we get busy. So Beth, I'm going to turn it over to you and let you introduce our guests.
I'm sorry, I can't quite hear you. So introduce Lee.
Yes, if you
Okay. So hi, everyone. I'm Beth Sollins. I'm with the Employment Benefits Committee on the Norman campus. And today, Lee Carmago Quinn is here to talk with us about open enrollment and some updates to our benefits plans. So Lee, take it away.
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much for allowing me to be here today. I appreciate the time. So as Beth said, we have some updates regarding benefits. So wanted to let you know that each year our benefit team reviews our insurance offerings. This year, we took a closer look at our current carrier, Blue Cross Blue Shield, given some of the challenges that we were facing with our medical providers. And so we did have an RFP process. So that was a request for proposal that went out to other carriers for medical and pharmacy services. We had a committee that was pulled together from faculty and staff senates, the Employee Benefits Committee, Retirement Association, Cameron and Rogers State University, who are also part of our plans. And so this committee was responsible for reviewing all the submitted RFPs, so all the submissions. We had 8 submissions that came in. If you can imagine, there's quite a bit of information that comes in these types of RFPs. And so a lot of work for the committee who are really volunteering their time to go through the RFPs. And so, they were given about 3.5 to 4 weeks to look at these RFPs, and then came back together as a group and determined from those submissions who we would invite for a finalist presentation. We did invite 3 finalists to the presentation. And so the committee then is responsible for being part of those presentations and viewing them and eventually making a recommendation to our executive leadership on who they believe from those finalist presentations we should do business with. And so from that, the committee made a recommendation to the executive leadership, and the recommendation was to move from Blue Cross Blue Shield to Cigna. That recommendation was approved and is now part of the Board of Regents agenda item that will be held later next week. And so this is still pending Board of Regents approval, but on January 1st, 2022, university will move from Blue Cross Blue Shield to Cigna. We do not yet have rates available. We are hoping to have rates available by the end of the week. the beginning of next week at the latest, but we're really hoping to have some breaks available so that we can put those out there and we can send a communication out to the community at large to let them know about the change. We'll have more details coming in October, so I'm more than happy to stop by again to have a discussion in October about the details regarding benefits and open enrollment. We do have some tentative dates for open enrollment. And I say tentative, I know I keep saying tentative, depending on how our implementation is going, we want to give ourselves a little bit of an opening there, but tentatively our open enrollment would be October the 25th through November the 5th. It will more than likely be a passive enrollment. Passive basically meaning if you don't make any changes, your benefits will stay the same, except obviously for your health savings account or dependent daycare account or your high deductible health plan, HSA account, because those are things that you want to make every year. So by the IRS, we have to make changes once a year. So with all of that being said, we will move to Cigna pending Board of Regents approval, January 1st, 2022. I can definitely take some questions if anyone has any questions about this at this time.
Okay.
Is that just,
I'll say we have one here in the room, Dr. Willis Wallace.
So with the open enrollment, we are going to be doing our open enrollment and selecting for Cigna health insurance or selecting for Blue Cross Blue Shield. Because I know this is pending board approval. So when I'm looking at my open enrollment, I know you said you're working on prices and stuff, but we will get for Cigna so that when it rolls over to Cigna, we will all be getting new cards issued and all that great stuff for Cigna.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. You'll get brand new cards for Cigna. So what's going to happen? We're still going to have a PPO plan. We're still going to have a high deductible health plan. So what we will do is we will roll people into those plans. You still have an opportunity during your open enrollment period to make a change. If you want to move to the PPO plan, if you're currently in the high deductible health plan or vice versa, you'll be able to do that. It'll just be with Cigna effective January 1st, 2022. So when you make that open enrollment change, it will be for Cigna. And so, like I said, it's a passive enrollment. So we'll move people basically into the plan that they're currently in, but you always have the option during the open enrollment period to make changes to any of your benefits should you choose to. But if you're currently participating in those flexible spending benefits, so like I said, for health or dependent care, or you have your HSA, you need to go in every year. It's because the IRS requires that you go in and re-elect those benefits each year.
One of the big questions we're getting is just clarification. The switch to Cigna is medical insurance. What about our dental and vision?
So the only change that we're going to see for carriers is for medical and pharmacy services. And so dental will stay with Blue Cross Blue Shield and our vision will stay with MetLife.
Perfect. Thank you. That addressed a bunch of the secondary questions that are popping up right now.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that I catch all of those too. So
yes. And I think one of the other main concerns that I think we're going to hear a lot of are people who have been around for a while. When the last time we went to Cigna, those of us HSC, we only had Cigna for a year. Northern Campus, I think, had it for 2 or 3 years. There's a reason we went back to Blue Cross. What about the concerns that were experienced with Cigna the last time we had Cigna, and how is this going to be different?
So some of those concerns are some of the difficulties that some individuals may have had while we had Cigna. And you're right, the Health Science Center had Cigna for 1 year, while the Norman campus had Cigna for 2 years. And some of the difficulties that we faced were really because we had some cost containment strategies in place. And some of those were with pre-authorizations. Some of those were maybe with step therapy. We understand a little bit, we understand obviously what individuals went through having to go through the pre-authorization processes. It's not to say that those processes will go away. We still have those processes today with Blue Cross Blue Shield. they're not going to be as tight. So when we went out to RFP, part of what we do is that process is that we provide them with our current plan and our current rules of the plan. And so they being the carriers do their best to kind of use that same design and philosophy as part of our current plan. And so we won't have as tight cost containment strategies in place as we have in the past. And the other thing is too, is I think Cigna has also learned a lot about our community as a whole, and learned about a lot about how we have done business. And so, you know, we will be monitoring all of that. Cigna is well aware of a lot of this, but some of that we put in place ourselves, not knowing how stringent some of those cost containment strategies were going to be. And now, you know, obviously after we found out and we, you know, determined that a lot of that we were able to help people through, but that is something that we have kept in mind through this entire process.
All right, sounds great. I appreciate that. I know there's going to be a lot of information communicated over the next 4 to 6 weeks as we get up to open enrollment. This is really the beginning. The regions kind of have to approve it first. That's the first big major step for the regions to approve it. Are there any, does anybody have any urgent questions that you feel like you need to ask now?
I do kind of see some in the chat. I can answer some of those questions really quickly.
Okay.
If that's okay. One is in regards to bariatric surgery. And yes, we will still have bariatric surgery as a service with Cigna. Regarding the medication, obviously it's going to depend on what the medication is. If you want to talk to me later, you can obviously email me about that. There's another question though in regards to pre-authorization process for medication. So somebody has gone through the pre-authorization process for medications, those should move over. It's also going to depend too, and the reason I say should, it's also going to depend as well if is it time to go through that process again? How long was the pre-auth for? There's going to be some of those types of questions. It's also very possible because we are moving to we're obviously moving to a new provider. They're going to have a different formulary that we have today. And so there could be some disruption for some individuals regarding, pharmacy, but there's help with that. The other thing is too, is there are also going to be good things. People who may have been paying in the 3 tier, their medication may go to the 2nd tier. So we'll see some of that too. If you have particular questions regarding your personal situation, please email me, because that will be easier for me to talk to you one-on-one regarding your personal situation, as opposed to doing it in a large forum. And, oh yes, I'll put my email in the chat right now. Yeah. All right.
Is there a general email that people can contact for HR benefits that come to you?
You can have these come to me.
Perfect.
These, with your questions here, I would have them come to me. We'll have a general email. We do have a general email. It's our ohr@ou.edu. So those are where general emails come from. But if you have a question regarding your particular situation, please feel free to reach out to me. Also, we will have an on-site customer service representative with Cigna. We've done this in the past. So when we had Cigna before, we had an on-site customer service representative who was on campus to help people, basically help people understand questions they may have had about claims, EOBs, a pre-authorization. And this individual that we'll have on campus is who we had previously. And I will say we were always very pleased with her ability to help navigate people through processes. And so we'll have her again on campus. So just to let you know that's another tool that we'll have available to us in the coming year. Okay.
Lots
Well,
of
thank-
information to digest.
Yes, yes. And if there's anything else, you can always leave something in the chat if I need to answer an additional question. Thank you again so much for allowing me to come today and present.
Yes, absolutely. And you are welcome back at our November meeting. I'm realizing it is not listed, date's not listed at the bottom of the calendar. I usually have a cheat to tell me when the next date is, so give me just a second. That is October 12th is our next meeting. So yes, you are welcome to come, and we always keep best employee benefits on the agenda so that there's always a slot if something, if it's an issue, we want to make sure it has a protected slot to be discussed. So you are good on that. Thank you so much, Lee.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. Now, I didn't have anything else specifically new business. Do we have any round robin topics that anyone wants to bring up or anything like that?
Hello, everyone. Good morning. I just kind of wanted to let you all know that Wednesday is my last day here at OU. I've accepted a position with Green Country Behavioral Health. I am getting my master's in clinical mental health counseling, so it just kind of goes hand in hand. It is my goal to come back to OU once I'm done with my degree. So I just want to say thank you for the opportunity, and thank you for allowing me to collaborate with you all, and I will miss you. So this is probably my last meeting, but I'm looking forward to seeing you all in the future.
Oh, thank you, Stella. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Any other questions? Braden, do we really want to hear from you?
Yes.
What do
Good
you
morning.
have?
If you'll remember, we talked about handing out the coasters
Yes.
to the new hires when we talked to them.
Yeah,
I just checked the staff store. We have 375 of them still. So we have a ton of them, and they're, as we've had that 375 for years. So what are your thoughts on handing them out when I talk to new hires as staff senate swag? That way we can move some stuff out of the store that's just been sitting there collecting dust for years.
Yes, it has. So twice a month at our orientation weeks, the first and third week of every month, Braden has to give a spiel. Part of his actual job with the access cards and everything, but he also talks to new employees about Staff Senate, our organization, how they can get involved. And he is proposing that these little car coasters that are actually itty bitty. If you don't have one, they're tiny round because they fit inside your cup holder in your car and absorb the condensation instead of getting in it. It doesn't prevent the ink, but hey.
Yes, please.
And he's proposing that we give those out to our new employees during orientation as kind of a welcome gift. And that's always a nice thing to give new employees a little bit of swag. It's something that's been in our stock for several years now. They're not selling. The cost is long since paid for. So it's not costing us really anything. And he's got 300, so that'll last us a little bit. Maybe by the time we run out of the coasters, we'll think of a new idea.
It all depends on Tandy and how many new hires he's gonna bring on.
Well, that's not up to you.
That's not up to me.
I blame Tandy.
Yeah, that's not up to Tandy, so I know that.
I blame Tandy.
Is there any discussion on this? Does anybody have any concerns that we want to talk through before we vote?
I had a thought.
Okay.
I know we talk about it, obviously orientation, but is there any way we could do some sort of hello, like welcome email from staff senate to even bring it in even more?
Absolutely.
It's something like specifically just for new hires that I can send to them. In fact, of course, I have the roster, but still a welcome from them.
That's been on my back burner because I get the roster every week.
Right, on top of, we're talking to them during communication.
Right, yes, and I've been thinking about that for, something for the chair, so that would be something I would handle, not necessarily the communications committee. And that's been on my back burner, it just hasn't happened yet, but absolutely. Okay. Absolutely something we can do there, especially for the staff, because I know you also have faculty that go through there, but
Yes.
we'll get the staff for sure.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I did not make a poll for this question, so we're gonna kind of go off. Instead of using a poll, just kind of use your thumbs up or raise your hand if you're on Zoom. I don't, since this isn't a policy or anything, this is just more of a getting a consensus of everybody to do. I'm not as concerned about, well, let's go ahead and just do it, just in case we need. So can someone make a motion? Let's go ahead and do the motion thing. Can someone make a motion about giving the poster to it? I don't care where it comes from. Anybody turn on your mic, start talking.
I'll make the motion.
Ray, go make a motion. Any second? You can raise your hand, thumbs up, I don't care. Oh, we got seconds here. All right, there we go. All right, all in favor of giving new hires one of the car coasters during orientation week, say aye, raise your hand, thumbs up. Woo! Yeah, lots of it here. All right, any opposition, concerns? Okay, I'm not seeing. All right, looks like we're good on that. So Braden, next week, start handing out those coasters. Start getting those out.
Angela, there's a question in the chat from Jennifer Lee at Family Medicine. She asked, she's working with Laura Morrow and other team leads at OU Tulsa for a PSR week, the first week of November. She just wanted to make sure that if they had that, that they wouldn't be interfering with any staff senate activities that week.
You don't have anything scheduled that week that I'm aware of.
Hopefully that answers your question, Jennifer.
I was waiting to hear what your tentative date for the craft fair was before I responded to that email, so that's where we're getting that. So that takes care of that. Anything else? Any other points of discussion? All right. Oh, question for you. About how many new employees do we put through every year in orientation?
Every year?
Like, well, like okay, how about every month? Ballpark, because I know it varies. You have low months and you have high months. It definitely cycles.
I think like for next week, we have 12. I think last week we had about the same, 14.
So some years we put through probably between 100 and 150, maybe new employees, but it varies from month to month and things like that. And that includes faculty and staff in that number because they all go to the orientation stuff. But we have enough coasters to probably last us a good 2 years. So,
Probably.
so we'll be good on that. Anything else? All right, everybody. Thank you so much for taking the time to come. We've got a small group here in 2C33 that came in person. You are welcome to come in person. You are also welcome to do Zoom. We're trying to be as inclusive as we can because I would much rather have people on Zoom and have more inclusivity and more people attending and limit what we could set in a physical room. So thank you for taking the time. If people ask you about the benefits, we have recorded this Zoom and we hope to be able to post it on our website. So that way we can direct people to the Staff Senate website to see a recording of the meeting, including the HR talk about our benefits changes. And again, just tell people the emails are going to start coming. HR is always very good about communicating these updates. You just have to don't go on autopilot and delete and ignore emails from HR in the next 6 weeks. Pay attention to them.
Yes.
Otherwise, have a good day. Have a good rest of your week. Thank you.